Now, again, what do I keep trying to explain to them, right? I don't have to prove anything to you, right? A, I don't know you from a hill of beans. B, if you're gonna accuse me of something, right? That you can prove yourself, right? You can't even prove me and my stepdaughter were ever alone, right? Period. Or that my ex-wife would leave me alone with her where I could do anything with her, right? What do you think I keep trying to explain to you, right? Even making up a story, I would know better than what I could do ain't sexual with the girl, right? Right. At all. Even making it up, I'm not doing something sexual, idiot. Even with a false confession, right? All I confessed to is the mother was there in the other room, right? First thing I confess, right? And the child would have to wake me up. Why don't you get that? Now, yes, true pedophiles, under the fact that they've been married to the woman for years, right? They don't do it immediately when they meet the child anyway, stupid. Right? They have to build a trust with both the mother and the child, right? I never had that with Amanda. Nope. At all. I'm not even around her personally unless we just ate dinner together, you know what I mean? So here's the schedule if I got home Thursday night, right? Around, say, between 5 to 6. Well, first you get home, Daphne cooks us a meal for me and her daughter. We eat the meal. I sit and watch TV, and if they want to watch TV with me until a certain time, me, and Daphne can watch TV on the couch, right? At the bus, right? Or they can go straight to the bedroom and stay in there all night. I don't care. I've been sleeping on the couch for 4 days anyway. But again, right, if you're going to take a story and make me make one up for you, I can do that easily, right? And you still can't prove that happened either. If you could prove it, I wouldn't be talking to you 30 years later at all, right? Daphne would have done something about it then, right? If she can't do nothing about it then, she couldn't do nothing about it now, right? Either she would have to fabricate evidence, right? Where there was none, right? And the only way I could do anything with her now is if she leaves Texarkana or Arkansas or wherever she's at, right? And comes here. Who would do that to your ex stepdad who you know ain't even been around you that long when you were 4? Right? Right. It's what I keep pointing out to you. She was 4 when I met her, right? Her mom was around us 24/7 until I moved back to base, right? I didn't seek to be alone with her either, right? What I'm going to do, take her daughters to a motel? No. I just stayed there until I could move back to base, idiot. That's what I keep telling you, right? Which was no more than 8 days later, right? By Monday, I was back on base, right? So that does mean from Friday, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, yeah, I was around there briefly, right? At the most, right? I'm also not sure if I moved back Friday evening or Monday evening, right? Either, right? It was so long ago, by the way, right? I don't even remember those details, right? All I know is I acted normal with my ex-wife as we proceeded to divorce over the next year. That the divorce went through normally, which I was dating Maribel then, right? And told her about divorcing Daphne as well. That there was a little confusion about when she got pregnant, but once that was all figured out, right, with the DNA test and it came back my son, it was settled then, right? Now, when she called me, I told her all that, but she was having issues with something else, right? A child she conceived who if the birth weight is correct, might could be mine. I don't know, right? That's why I ask her questions and she won't answer, right? Look, if I somehow got you pregnant, even if I cheated on you, then that's what was the difference, I guess, right? Plus, did you do different things the last time we were together, like masturbate? Okay, maybe that was a difference too, right? I don't know. But again, I ain't seen her since then, right? Either. I broke up with her for a reason. I wanted her to move to Georgia with me to be my girlfriend or, commit to me or move on. Both of us. So I moved on too. I met a girl named Denise too, about a year later. Or two. Now, I'm not one of these guys that picks up a bunch of women and brings them home. Okay? I might every 10 years, right? Okay? Or 11, 12 years, or even, right? Meet somebody, and even then, it's still the woman's choice, right? Now, the last girl I had a issue with is the girl in the nail salon, right? And amount of time I was around her, right? Which I know because I had two plans, right? There was two movies playing the afternoon I went to that salon, and one started at 3 and one at 3:10. I was going to see one of those movies that day. But something weird happened around the girl. I lost what you would consider time, like in a blackout. And the thing is, the amount of time was over an hour in addition to her trimming my nails in the salon, right? Now, it's one thing if you lose maybe 20 minutes if she was doing a slow job on your nails, by the way, right? Where it took maybe an hour if you stretch it out somehow, right? But when I got out, I had to see the movie Arctic Dogs, which started at 4:45 or 4:45, right? If you want to speak it in a different way. Now, I also noticed that Thomas Barbie's, political van was parked there. And I don't know if he had something to do with it or not, but why would he? So we wouldn't go see Harriet together, Thomas? Do you know what I mean? What would it matter? Would you try to set me up with a 37-year-old or a 15-year-old? Say she's 37. You wouldn't do that, I don't think. Right? Because that would get you in trouble because you would have to tell the girl to sleep with me, right? That, too, is corruption of a minor. You know that, right? You can't tell the girl to be with me any more than I can. And if I ask her age and she says 37, and she sleeps with me in the bathroom, which is the only place we can do it, not the door, right? So we can at least have some privacy, right? I'm sure it's a one bathroom too. I think one person or two at most can fit in it at a time. Right? Though it's for male or female use as well. I told them that too, right? But again, if you let me go into the bathroom with her, whatever happened in the bathroom stays in the bathroom. Like Vegas. And if we did something, you let us both go into the bathroom, right? And if I found out her age after, that's too late. That's too late. You're not supposed to tell me after so I don't sleep with her. You're supposed to tell me before. And then I wouldn't have slept with her, right? Or even done anything with her, right? Or have sex with her on the sink in the bathroom. Getting specific now, mofo. I'm telling you how we did it. Because I know how I did it with Mary Bell, but we did it in my bathroom. Hello? So we had a shower there. We also did it in the shower. Now, sometimes I would sit her on the dresser. And we would do it from the front or behind, right? See, that gives her a lift. But if I went in there with her, I thought she was 37, right? Not 15, right? then she's lying to cover her dad because she's not supposed to be working in the store until she's 16, right? And see, if she told me she was 15 and was working for her dad, I would have understood that. It wouldn't have been a problem. And she wouldn't have had to think she would blackmail me over it either. Which kind of seems like what she's doing, right? She knows she's 15. She knows she's supposed to wait until she's 16 to even work in the store. If we did something, it's because she knew she was 15. Not because I did, right? Till after I started talking about it on YouTube for over a year now, right? And 2 years in November. And again, because I know I went into there for a reason, right? Simply to get my nails trimmed, right? Like any other customer for that particular job. And I'm just a normal customer to those types of salons as well. I'm not unfamiliar with it. And then the only person who would, if she was 15, right, have a problem with it would be who? Her dad. Her dad. Well, you're not supposed to let her work in there till she's 16 anyway, but if you did, all she would have had to do was tell me. She was really 15 and just working for you. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. Right? I said, okay, fine. You can do that. Problem is, she's acting like it would get you in trouble. And that she would have to blackmail me over it. And sleep with me to get me in trouble, not you. Get real. Get real. I did not go to the theater that day to see freaking Arctic Dogs, but okay. I had to because your daughter took up my time and we did something else in the store together. When she told me she was 37. So, and not thinking she was 15 either. I don't know if she thought she had to blackmail me over it either. Or that, she was unaware of your arrangement. But again, right, if she did, she's just being plain stupid, right? To go in there with a 51-year-old disabled veteran who has a mental illness, but knows where he's at because of the mental illness, right? And is mapping his symptoms, right? Now, I don't know what actually blacked me out in the store, right? But I do know I was in there an additional hour past either movie, including time to walk to the theater from the store if I wanted to, right? Since I parked in the handicap parking there, I sometimes walk to a location across from me, right? Like the theater itself, right? And go there and watch a movie, then come back and leave, right? From that location, right? Just to get in a little exercise during the day, right? It's not much, right? It's not even a mile. It's not even a block, really, right? To walk that far. And I try to do daily exercises too, right? Of some type of walking, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm always honest about how my disability affects me and never hid anything, right? From anybody who I know, right? Since I got out the Navy, right? With it. And one of them is mental and one of them is physical. And one of them has to do with paranoid schizophrenia. But even positive things, right? Like belief in God. Even that, or Jesus and the miracles, right? Even that to a psychiatrist can appear schizophrenic, right? The thing is, though, I fell 3 stories. I damaged my lower back in what would be considered the lower part of your spine, right? Now, in the Bible, there's 2 men, both of them were paralyzed. One from the neck down, one from the waist down. Both in two different locations when Jesus said they were healed and forgiven for their sins, right? Now, I know if I'm a Christian, no matter what my mistakes are, all I got to do is confess them, even if I have to make up something for you to entertain you, right? That didn't happen as well, like with the stepdaughter, right? I could do that within legal ramifications without any proof I even touched a girl for real. Because, like I said, if you really touch someone, they're going to know then, not now, right? But if you accuse me for 15 years on YouTube, that ain't going to change anything. I still didn't touch the girl when she was 4. I don't even know if she came by when she was old enough, right? Which in Georgia, if she gets here, will be 16 and older, right? As well, right? But I don't even know the girl outside of when I met her at 4, right? Do you understand that, right? Another thing is I didn't stalk her in Texas or Arkansas. I didn't try to develop a side relationship with her besides contact through my ex-wife. I might have even sent her and her sister $10 one time for Christmas when I found out Daphne had another daughter. But that's it. That's it. And again, I'm trying to move on from that relationship, just like Sheena, just like Maribel, right? But they keep telling me crazy things, right? Maribel told me she had a son that was 4 pounds 9 ounces, right? And I traced back the birth weight to when we were last together within, say, 2 weeks, right? So I don't know what's going on. Or what she's talking about, or why she's saying all that, right? Though, of course, I know she could be messing with me either way. But I'm telling her, well, if we have a child, I just care, right? I'm trying to get you child support, right? That's it. That's it. And if we don't have a son, tell me we don't have a son, right? And I don't mean in a mean way. You done told me he was close to the last time we were together. I mean, show me you don't have a son. Because, see, all I know is she's calling me, telling me this story, right? About having a child with the other guy, right? But when the birth weight comes around, he was too big, right? For her. To be his, right? And that's all I know. And anyone can look up all that information and tell me whatever they want to tell me, including my ex-girlfriend, right? Herself. I know that too, but I was never obsessed with her, just trying to date her respectfully after I broke up with my ex-wife, right? And with all that baggage as well. But again, right, I dealt with all that over the years. I found out the boy was conceived in February when I thought he was conceived in March, right? Well, that was shortly after we started having sex, right? I mean, right. See, the thing about premarital sex is that still don't mean the woman can't get pregnant without a certificate or something, right? I realized that too, right? Again, and all I can do is say, look, I was sorry about that. I realized I was wrong, right? And accept the child as my son, right? And the thing about the stepdaughter is she's also my stepdaughter, though legally, right? If I divorced the mother, she's divorced me too, huh? Right? Well, that's fine. That's why she's in Texas or Arkansas or wherever, and I'm in Georgia by myself, right? I'm not alone because I want the stepdaughter to date me. I'm alone because someone's accusing me of molesting her, and that's a heavy accusation, right? That you can neither prove or disprove. And once it's out there, it's on YouTube, right? People are going to act all kind of crazy about it, right? Because people are actually talking about people being actually molested, right? But I'm not in that position to molest her, right? I keep trying to explain something to you. I don't care how schizophrenic I am. I know my ex-wife is in the house with me. If her child wakes me up, the only thing I know is to bring her back to mom, which is what I keep saying I would do in a confession. Right. If she came in there to me or not. And that's all I can confess. I did. If she were to do or would do, right? Do you get what I'm confessing? Right? Not that she did, but if she were to and woke me up, besides a few minor things about potty training, right? In other words, I might would think she might could pee or might could need a shower or a bath, but even then, that's going to be within a parameter of what a step parent can do with a child versus, again, a stranger sleeping on the couch or someone who wasn't trying to be her stepdad, right? Even if me and her mom broke up on the way to Arkansas, right, to visit her parents, right, it don't mean I'm going to hurt her daughter or try to do something wrong to her just because she pissed me off herself. My ex-wife, that is, right? Two wrongs, like the Wright brothers said, don't make it right. You've heard that old adage, right? So I know I'm not going to do anything to her daughter no matter what happened, right? Even if nothing happened, right? And the girl could even go to the bathroom and I not even know it, right? You know what I mean? To herself, right? And I slept through it as well, right? But anything I'm making up, right, could happen naturally, but not provable that I even touched her sexually, right? That's what I keep telling the person. You're harping on something that no one can prove either, right? I can't prove if someone's moving my keys around who it is if I don't remember who it was, right? But I know the keys were put in the specific location when I came down, usually on that table or this table, right? Or in my bedroom or somewhere close by, right? When I get in, I've even been known to leave it in the damn door once in a while, but I realize that too, right? But it's not going to be somewhere where I can't immediately find it either unless I'm hiding it. Because it's been turning up missing from the location I last put it, right? So then I'm trying to hide it from myself because maybe someone came by that night who I didn't expect, right? Can't say who it is either, right? If you don't know, you don't know. But you do know the last place you put your keys was on the table over there. And they're still there for now, right? The doors are locked, right? No one's going to come in and steal them, right? No one. No one. Not even me, unless someone knocks on that door. I look out those peepholes, see who it is, and maybe let them in. It's also the only way they can get in at night. And this is all I can prove to you, too. I do know where I last put my keys, on what table, too, right? If they're missing or moved around by morning, I had an unexpected visitor the night of, or the night prior. And like the woman looking for her coins in the Bible, when one coin's missing, okay, maybe it fell off the table. You keep the coins on, right? Somehow accidentally when you were getting up, right? And you somehow brushed it off the table. But if something you value is missing, like the keys to your car and your transportation, and you know you put them in a specific location, like with the woman and her coins, right? You're going to search diligently throughout the whole house, right? Not sure if you accidentally moved it around or not, right? Yourself, of course. So this don't prove anything. Nor can anyone prove rape or anything occurred with any of my ex-girlfriends either. Not where they didn't tell me certain details before the sex, right? Like I said. See, either you know what lukewarmness is, right? Right. Now, in the song by the Georgia Satellites, Keep Your Hands to Yourself, right? That woman clearly is waiting for marriage. But Sheena Johnson clearly let me make out with her and almost have oral sex with her the night before. Mm-hmm. Does that seem like she's willing to wait for marriage, or would let you go all the way with her, maybe, right? Maybe you might go all the way with her. Mm-hmm. And if you did go all the way with her, right, she still had the point where you started being with her, right, until you finished with her, mm-hmm, to stop you. Mm-hmm. If you went off alone together the following day. Mm-hmm. She also had time, mm-hmm, to say something about it to you before you both went sailing on the seven seas, right, in the Mediterranean. She never did, right? In fact, it didn't get weird until I started addressing more getting her pregnant, or more being one of the two witnesses, or more being, right, a man of like passions as Elijah, mm-hmm, who dealt with the widow woman and her son. Well, what does that have to do with Elijah unless his wife, like Rachel, died in childbirth in the child, right? Ever think of that? Some people think Elijah wasn't married. I don't know. That's not necessarily a Jewish thing. But what if his wife got pregnant, right, was giving birth, and both her and the child died, right? Because Rachel dies herself giving birth to Benjamin, right? Well, what if Elijah lost both his wife and son, right? And this just ain't written in the text, right, that we have about the man's life, right? But that don't mean he wasn't married. That don't mean he didn't have a wife. Mm-hmm. Maybe even more than one. But maybe this was his favorite wife. And after he lost her and the child, he didn't want anything to do with any other, living divorced them or something, right? See, they could divorce back in Israel too, by the way, right? That's why they're bringing it up to Jesus, right? Which the only woman he can divorce is one he's legally married to. Even if they didn't have sex or something, right? So you can be married to someone legally in Israel and not even have sex with that person. So she could be with 7 other men and you wouldn't even know. Like they're asking him about, especially the Sadducees. Why are you asking me if there's a woman who's with 7 men, right? Anyway. And they all 7 had a wife. And they were brothers, right? To whom, by the way, right? Me? Was it my own 7 brothers who tried to take my own wife? Right. To pay back for what happened to Joseph and Mary? Right. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say yes. I wouldn't say no. Right. Which would be crazy though, right? Right. And again, not Jesus' fault, would it? No. You can't help it that, right? Can you? If you're born of a virgin, though, there's no real way to tell the virgin was a virgin after you give birth to a child. We all know that, right? Unless you test her beforehand and she still has her hymen. That would be a lay. That would be a lay. But only an old Jewish fuddy-duddy would test that theory. Right. But if he did, an angel of the Lord told Joseph to take her as his wife. Well, it's like with Moses' mother and the Pharaoh. Mm-hmm. Why didn't he kill Moses as a possible son of Israel? Mm-hmm. When he knew the punishment for having a child was to drown the child in the river Nile anyway. And this child came floating down the Nile in a basket or an ark. For one baby. Mm-hmm. Was he a hermaphrodite too? Because all the daughters could be saved. Just asking. But even if he was a son, there are hermaphrodites, by the way, really born in the world, right? And if he was one of them or not, right? Which is what it also looks like scripturally, right? So, yeah. By the way, maybe that's a problem for you, maybe not, but okay, but right. If Jesus was one too, or Mary too, she could have a child without Joseph, right? And children with Joseph, right? Both of us, actually. It would explain things in a different light, huh? Right. But if Mary herself was a hermaphrodite and conceived Jesus through sexual to asexual reproduction, right? Or she came on her stomach and it made her into her vagina and she got pregnant. It's usually what happens with one if they impregnate itself, right? Even if you're an earthworm. Mm-hmm. For instance, an earthworm can get pregnant by itself or with another earthworm, right? So can snails, right? One of the research things I'm doing is seeing how long the sperm lasts outside a woman's body, or even a hermaphrodite. Or again, if a male just ejaculates. Well, that's about 20 minutes. Well, if Mary's a hermaphrodite and she came on herself and didn't know what it was and put it in her vagina, she could get pregnant by her own sperm. But there again, most Israelites didn't even know about that thing, right? That kind of idea, right? Maybe Isaiah talks about kings with breasts you will suck, right? Using the word shad there. It's just SHD. And it says Melachim shad. And then it uses the Hebrew word for you shall suck. Or you suck, right? They might not have used such specific grammar, but I'm sure the general concession was that kings with breasts, right, meaning female breasts, you will suck. But some people don't know about this condition. The Greeks did, though. Which they had to run in with Theophilus, or Theophiles, or whatever his name was. Right? One of the Greek kings after Alexander the Great. Right? They seemed to have a falling out with him because he offered up a pig in the temple. Well, they didn't like that at all. Though, dealing with pig meat, right? Again, the reason Israelites cannot eat it is that while there's in what's called mire. Well, mire is water, mud, and feces, or what we call shit today, mingled together. And the pig wallows in it because its skin, like our skin, when it's exposed to the sun, gets sunburned, right? We'll put a roof over the pen and no more mire. And then the pigs are clean meat again, right? The problem with that, too, is tapeworms, right? Or what we call... Herod killers. If you understand. Worms ate up Herod, right? They say. Well, the only kind of worm you get is from improperly cooked pork meat. They're called tapeworms, right? And what they do is they take the nourishment that's meant for your body and they eat the food and take the nourishment in for themselves, right? And your body don't get nourished, right? And the tapeworms slowly starve you to death, right? And that's how King Herod died, by the way. He got eaten up of worms, right? namely the tapeworm, right? Which is why he died shortly after all that, too, right? A horrible death, they say. So don't tell me that the Lord don't punish the evil kings as well as the good kings, right? The problem with Pharaoh is he was a bad king in charge of everybody. Now, if God helped Israel, dummy, right? They were doing this on Young Sheldon last night. God ain't an evil king, right? But if an evil king is ruling, what can God do about that any more than anyone who can live a natural life cycle, right? Who's ruling over you themselves, right? Well, if a king's good or evil, that's in his works, right? Well, this king was trying to kill the firstborn of Israelite children that were male. Mm-hmm. And having the nurse midwives, right? Or nurses back then, to throw the babies into the river and drown them as soon as they were born, right? So again, that's a bad thing, right? But God did not put it in this king's heart to do that. An enemy did of God, right? And you hear of him from the beginning. He's one of them, right? He's one of the us's we knew good and evil with, right? And they're referred to as an us because, like us, when we were first made, we were made as one. Then parts of the one were made into two bodies, right? And corrected to fully male. Mm-hmm. And then the other body formed from those parts in his body, right? To make them two from one, right? And you don't hear this on Sunday school class, right? You don't even hear this in modern science class, because again, medical science has found out about hermaphrodites, but lies about them too, right? If the Bible and modern science agree on one thing, they almost treat hermaphrodites like they shouldn't even exist, right? Wow. Which is kind of crappy if you're a hermaphrodite, right? Too, right? Because the only job they might get is in porn. Ain't that sad, right? But anyway, bye.